Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig Burley with us in the studio. Frank Leboeuf as well joins us as well. Thank you as always for your tweets. Frank, given what PSG has paid for Neymar and what he has brought to the team, was he worth the investment?
Oh my God. Do you really want me to answer to that?
Yes.
No doubt that Neymar has a talent and he showed it when he was playing for Barcelona. But I'm sorry, since he signed for Paris Saint-Germain, no, he didn't fill up the form. He was mostly injured at the best when Paris Saint-Germain needed him in Champions League, and this season he wasn't good enough in Champions League. And no, they brought him. They brought Neymar because they wanted him to be the king of Paris, to win trophies, Champions League trophies for Paris. So therefore, you can say that no, he's not worth the investment for sure.
Well, how much was it again? Do we know? We don't know, do we?
It's a lot. Well, it was a world record. Was it 230 million?
Well, let me put it another way. They brought Neymar to be... Neymar left the shadows of Barcelona and Messi to be the number one at the top of the tree. The best that PSG could offer. The kingpin, the hero. And as it turns out, he's not. That's Kylian Mbappe. So, that tells you all you need to know.
Have PSG embarrassed themselves with their childish actions throughout this Champions League, Craig? 2 red cards, diving, etc.
Well, I don't know about the whole Champions League from the knockout, but I can tell you in this 2-game knockout against City that from the Idrissa Gueye red card. So in the first 40 to 45 minutes when everything was going PSG's way.
Yes.
In Paris, when Man City were flustered and ruffled and PSG were playing well, discipline was great. As soon as City changed gears, PSG changed. We saw the Idrissa Gueye red card. We saw 7 or 8 PSG players surrounding the referee trying to get Kevin De Bruyne sent off for a challenge that wasn't a red card offence. And then we saw the antics tonight, and we were sitting watching, and you said straight away, this lot are going to lose it here. These players are going to individually lose it. And it started with Di Maria as the frustrations grew, and that was crazy. And it grew to others. Verratti was on an edge.
Danilo's
challenge when he comes off the bench. In all fairness, Zinchenko lost the plot at one point, but he was reacting to what happened to one of his teammates, but he still had to think about, potential red card and missing being available for a Champions League final. So it's not just PSG, but PSG had a lot of them who were teetering on the brink, particularly when the game started to go against them. Rather than rallying and using their experience to say, right, how do we get back into this game? How do we figure this out? It was rash challenges and a loss of control.
Can Pochettino fix that, Frank?
No. And many others tried before him, and we thought that Tuchel could have done that. And he tried, when once I think it was Mbappe, and I forgot the other one. We were late for a meeting before a game in Marseille. They put them on the bench. So we say, okay, finally some discipline in Paris. It didn't last long. And there is a big problem. We call it the circus PSG, and it's what happened. We are facing some prima donnas at some point. For some players, as long as everything works well, they seems to be perfect. And as Craig said, when Manchester City change gears and they're not happy with the situation, they get frustrated. They don't accept it because they think they are the best of the best, and therefore they react like that. And what did Di Maria, what did also Neymar, but also Paredes, who always in the middle of trouble, Paredes. Verratti, we explained to Verratti for I don't know how many years he's been at Paris Saint-Germain, that he has to be quiet, that he has to work because he's a real talent. But he has to work hard and he has to shut up. He doesn't know. He doesn't do that. He's always in the middle of the problem. But he doesn't want to involve.
I want to pick up on Verratti because after the game, he complained that the referee swore to him on more than one occasion. And he said, if I did that, I'd have got a 10-match ban. I'm just wondering, from your experience, how many times has a referee sworn at you?
But listen, if I finished the game and the referee hadn't sworn at me, I think I'd have been putting a complaint into the FA. Because if I was giving it out to referees, and I know maybe you can't give it out as much, possibly, I don't know, I'm not in the field anymore. You know, do you remember we saw an incident with this with a Bournemouth player a year or two ago who complained that John Moss, the referee, had given him a little bit back.
Yes.
Dan Gosling.
Yes, yeah. Correct.
And Bournemouth at one point were going to put a complaint in until somebody in their PR said, have a rethink here.
Yes.
Now, there is a question to whether there are some people out there who maybe in the camp it says referees should not
Right.
talk to players back. I'm fairly sure Frank wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't know, maybe I certainly don't have a problem with it. But that sounds like sour grapes. Frank, we're used to having a little bit back and forth with referees, no?
I think it's just human. I think the refereeing represents the authority. So you expect from the authority to be above, you know, the players and not react to what the players can say. But at a certain point, and I know Verratti, he doesn't stop. And he's going to talk, and I'm sure he was quite nasty with the referee. And at a certain point, the referee is just a human being, and he would say, you know what? He can say what he want to say and going to react. And I can accept that. It's just for me normal. And I said stuff to referees at some point, sometimes, you know, during the game when I was playing for Chelsea. And they responded to me, and not in a nice way. But I accepted it because I started it.
Right.
And so therefore don't complain to the media if you started the fight.
Sure.
See, the trouble is now we're living, you know, and I won't go too far down the road with this, but as you know, we live in a world now, Dan, where people take delight in being offended. And so sometimes, particularly with these things.
But why does Verratti come out and say, like, it seems a strange thing to bring to everybody's attention.
Yes.
He's kind of like, we saw him and we saw what he was like in that second half. Clearly lost his head.
Yes.
The referee said something maybe he shouldn't have, but then to go crying to the media about it doesn't quite.
Well, listen,
sit
I
right.
wouldn't have an issue if Verratti had a complaint about the referee and thought he wasn't a very good referee.
Sure.
Didn't do a very good job. Didn't give me the decisions I wanted. We've all had those complaints, right or wrong. You always feel as if you're wronged as a player. More often than not. I mean, every now and again, you know, you've caught one. You've got to take it on the chin. But more often than not, you think you're going to get away with things that you don't. And therefore, you feel hard done by certain referees. And that's normal. But to complain, allegedly, I've not seen it, but to complain about a referee giving you a little bit back, if that's what happened, is quite frankly pathetic.
Right.
Because do you
think it would be rare to find any former player who would have a problem with what the referee's done, as maybe others who, like as laymen, as we haven't played the game, we would put referees on a pedestal and said they shouldn't act like that?
No, I think if you polled most pundits around wherever the globe, ex-players, most of them would say the same thing. I'll be very surprised if somebody went, "Oh, that's terrible."
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, if a referee has said something inappropriate,
sure,
then that's different. But if it's a basically, I can't say it here, but if it's a basically, then you got listen. and Bjorn Kuipers, the referee, is very experienced, so he's probably just gave him the old cold shoulder, off you pop, son. And it seems like sour grapes to me, unless he's got something else to say. It's pretty pathetic.
Right then, here we go. Have they ever lost their cool like Di Maria in a crucial game?
Well, actually, I was going to bring this point up. Why are you laughing?
Well, I'm just thinking World Cup.
Yeah, but that's the difference. And I was going to say that's the difference, and here's where I'm making an excuse for myself, is that what Idrissa Gueye did in the first leg was rash and reckless, but it was within the confines of a game.
Okay.
So he could say, oh, I tried to make the tackle, I was a bit high, but I tried to make a challenge. What Angel Di Maria did wasn't even on the pitch.
Yes.
The ball was out of play. It was a clear stamp. He wasn't trying to make a tackle, so it was inexcusable. Now, I didn't exactly try and make a tackle on
so just take us through, for people who don't know, 1998, third game in the World Cup against Morocco.
The last game in the World Cup against Morocco
You're on a yellow card?
Both teams need to win. No, I prefer to go for the straight red.
Right, okay.
I wasn't on a yellow, but I can't remember. I got a bit of a rush of blood and I kicked this young Moroccan lad pretty hard, and I was late, reckless.
Right.
Yeah,
so it was within the context of a challenge.
It wasn't as bad as Di Maria's because it was on the field.
Right.
But it wasn't exactly a challenge either.
Okay.
It was pretty inexcusable. I must say, what I did was pretty inexcusable.
Okay.
But I don't think it cost us a place.
And that was just, as you say, just a moment.
Yeah, and I can't think back and remember why, because I think we were losing at the time, 1-0. I'm not sure. It was. I can't remember the whole timing of it, but I mean, I was only sent off twice. Up until that point, I'd never been sent off in my career.
Right.
I can't tell you in my mind why I did what I did, but I did, which is weird. I can't.
Right.
I didn't go on the field with any preconceived ideas about kicking somebody. The guy wasn't winding me up. Don't even know who it was. He wasn't winding me up. I don't know why I did it. Maybe that's what Di Maria's going to say. I just don't know. I just reacted.
If you could take one back, would it be that red card or the back pass in the semi-final of the FA Cup?
You just try to cheer me up.
No, I know, but I just feel I've got you in a place where you can be honest with this, and I'm just intrigued.
What one can I take back? I'll be honest with you.
Take the back pass.
I would like to take. If I could take one back, I would take back the mistake I made in the FA Cup semi-final.
Right.
Because we were it was a good game up to that point, and yeah, I didn't. I felt that I'd let my team. I felt that I'd let those teammates down. It's a weird thing to say, but I'm more than I'd let my Scotland teammates down.
Really?
Yeah, because we were having a bad night anyway.
Okay.
Well,
So your sending off didn't really influence the result in that
I don't
time.
think it influenced the game. We were poor that night. We played very well against Brazil, well against Norway, and we were poor against Morocco. As the back page of the one of the newspapers in Scotland said, I think it was 2 or 3-0 the game. Morons nil, Moroccans 2, morons nil.
Just your face.
And I think I was the biggest moron. But I remember going back into the changing room and facing Mark Hughes and and all the guys who were great. They had nobody to go at me. But when the feeling of letting those guys down on that particular occasion was hard to take. I don't imagine these guys will be feeling like that tonight. I'm not Di Maria. I get the feeling these modern day guys, I might be wrong, they just shrug it off and go, no.
Yeah.
Next
I
year's
suppose it depends what setup.
It depends what guy, it depends who you are, I don't know.
Frank?
Nothing like Di Maria where, I in fact changed the game because I got a red card. But I had a second yellow card against Leeds where Harry Kewell was pretending that I touched him. And I got crazy. I lost my mind and he was on the floor complaining for nothing. And I went on to him because the ref gave me the second yellow card, therefore a red card. So I went on to him and I stamped on his foot, and I said, okay, now I know why you're complaining. And I went out. And I think the FA, the EPL wanted to give me like 10 games ban and £20,000 fine. And I remember Roberto Di Matteo coming to me after the game. He said, Frank, what are you doing? We don't need that. I say, well, get the, because, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. You don't see what happened. And I would have been red carded. So what the point to come to me and complain? I love Roberto. He's a good friend of mine. But at that point, I was so upset. I lost my mind. I'm so, how do you say, ashamed of that. But it's how I reacted. And I apologized to Harry Kewell after. But it's what happened to me. And I don't regret it because it's me. And because I can't stand injustice. But I never did what Di Maria did. I think it's completely stupid.
Yeah, off the field, no. But it's completely off the field. It's just stupid. Which reminds me of a great story about one of our former colleagues, Frank Sinclair. Now, before Frank Leboeuf came to the club, a young Frank Sinclair was sent out on loan to West Brom, who were in the second or third tier at the time. And I remember the coach coming in the Monday morning or something, said, you mate, to all the boys, because it was like youth, 18, 19-year-olds at the time. Right. Your mate, he's only going to get himself a 10-match ban or whatever it is. And what Frank had done, if memory serves me right, and he may be able to correct this, he got accused of headbutting the referee.
Wow.
In this game, but I don't think he meant to. What happened was, he got so enraged with a decision, Frank, and I think it was raining, he sprinted towards the referee in this game, tried to pull the brakes on as he got to him, slipped, so put his foot in, it slipped, and then that propelled him forwards into the referee who hit the deck. Right? So you can imagine, he gets to him, tries to stop, his studs went into the turf, went back, then went forward, smashed the referee.
Brilliant.
And he got accused.
Oh my God.
Chelsea Loney headbutts the referee, but I don't think he did.
It was an accident, Your Honour.
Your Honour, this is what happened. I was running up on a slip. So these, silly things sometimes happen. But anyway, that was.
But you know, Craig.
Yes.
I don't think you were still at the club, but Frank Sinclair did another thing where one day he scored a goal and decided to have a great celebration. He put his shorts down to his calves and kept on running like that. I guess he was banned like 4 or 5 games.
Did he have anything on under the shorts?
Celebration.
Was there anything under the shorts, Frank?
I don't remember. I don't want to remember that.
We've chosen to forget that.
Frankie.
Great stuff.
Jesus.
Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow, where, of course, we all know the lineup of the Champions League final. Will Manchester City be facing Chelsea or Real Madrid? Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.